Welcome to Nobody Knows with Joe Coffey, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
DentonRadio.com, are you familiar?
I am not.
All right, what about Joe Coffey? He won the damn award for Best Comedian last year, 2016.
Haven't heard of him, but he sounds like a true Dentonite.
Did you watch the damn awards?
No, I didn't.
Do you care about any of that kind of stuff?
No, I don't.
Do you care about any of the art scene or anything?
Oh, sure I do.
Are you an artist?
More of a tradesman.
Okay, what do you trade?
Or craftsman, I should say.
What are you crafting? I feel like I could see you making like some chainmail or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like the term artist is a bit,
Yeah, I'm a creator. I just create.
Creator's good, yeah.
Because I'm constantly like creating stuff.
I edit video and I write things, so, but.
Nice. Okay, so today, I don't know if you heard, but Dalton Pruitt's coming back.
Oh, yeah?
Are you familiar with Dalton?
I am not.
I thought you were. So Dalton, he went to improv classes, so pretty much like clown college or something, is what I gathered. All right, so have you been listening to Denton Radio?
No.
Are you familiar with Joe Coffey? He has a show on Denton Radio.
No, I have not.
Have you listened to any Denton Radio at all?
No, I have not either.
Do you know Dalton Pruitt? Did you hear about what happened to Dalton Pruitt?
Negative.
He went to improv classes. He's a comedian also. He's back though.
Okay.
Say something to him.
Hey, what's up, man? I wish you the best and good luck on whatever you're doing. Keep it on track.
Do you know Joe Coffey?
No, not really either, no.
You've never heard the name?
No.
All right, so Denton Radio, today on Joe Coffey Show. Have you been listening?
I have not.
Are you familiar with Joe Coffey?
I'm not.
Okay, are you familiar with Denton Radio?
I am.
All right. Well, today Joe Coffey's guest is Dalton Pruitt. He's back.
Okay.
He's been at improv classes.
You said Beck?
He's back.
Oh, back.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like...
No, he's
okay,
back.
gotcha.
He was at improv classes. Have you ever been to improv classes or anything?
I'm not.
Are you afraid of spiders?
No.
No, not at all?
No.
Watch. Look inside the cup.
Inside the cup? You're like, what?
DentonRadio.com.
Sure.
Yes.
Are y'all familiar?
No, I never heard of it.
No?
No.
Okay, it's right over here. What about Joe Coffey? He has a show. Have y'all been listening?
No.
Haven't had the chance yet.
Joe Coffey? He's a comedian in Denton. Do y'all know Dalton Pruitt?
Does he do stand-up at Killer's Tacos?
Yes.
I think I've seen him once.
Joe Coffey?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
I haven't gotten a chance to.
No? Was he funny?
Yes, if he's who I'm thinking of, then yes.
Yeah, describe him.
It was really late. Does he have a beard?
A good one or a bad one?
It's Denton.
A Denton beard. All right, cool. All right, so Joe Coffey has a show on Denton Radio. Have you been checking it out?
No, definitely not.
No? Definitely not. What does that mean?
Because I don't even know who that is.
What about you? You know who that is?
Nah, I don't know.
What about Dalton Pruitt? He's back. He was at improv classes.
Still a no, dog.
No?
No.
What do you think about improv classes? Do you think Dalton needed them?
Probably.
Yeah, probably right. What do you think?
I don't even know what improv classes are.
Do you know who Dalton is?
Nah, I don't know.
Can you say nobody knows Joe Coffey?
Nobody knows him, man.
Say nobody knows Joe Coffey.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Joe Coffey.
Nobody knows Joe Coffey.
Nobody knows Joe Coffey.
Oh, I did not know. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Sure. Nobody knows Joe Coffey.
Nobody knows Joe Coffey.
Hey! Now just go wop 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 wop.
Wop, 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 wop.
Perfect. Did you laugh?
No.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2. How do you do? I don't know how to count.
Well, let me see. So what's after 3?
It's a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
Nobody knows.
Oh, is that why? Is that what's going on?
And nobody ever will. Thank y'all.
Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
That's what it was. That's why. I was playing it from my phone too. You're getting better at the street thing. I think your questions just they get funnier every time. I feel like
I'm asking the same questions. Dalton's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Dalton's back, and did you hear how
Rose
excited
petal
shirt too?
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm wearing my florals.
You always dress the best for us.
Yeah, I like to wear shirts with flowers on them.
Yeah,
I'm realizing that the at-home audience can see my knees,
so they know that you're wearing that. Ooh, I'm wearing shorts today.
The Land
too.
O'Lakes.
Under Armour
I'm
shorts.
Under Armour shorts.
Butter.
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't even really know where I got these. I think I
Flower
stole them
Mound,
from
I'm
my
sure.
dad. Flower Mound. Yeah. Well, we're back. Episode what? 15 right now.
15.
That's what
Boys
we're
are
on.
back.
How did we do it? Yeah, all
boys are back.
3. We're on 15, Dalton.
Yeah.
What was your last episode? Do you know what number?
It was. I mean, it was 2 months ago.
2 months ago. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Are you done with improv classes? Off the top of your head.
No. I'm done with level 1.
How many levels are there?
There's 5 levels, and then you
It's
go.
like
and then
5
you go
like the black
clear.
belt.
And you're done with level 1.
Yeah.
So you're like Robin Williams in
Okay.
in,
Go on.
in the Return of Jafar.
That's Aladdin. That's
What?
Aladdin.
That's one of the
It's
Aladdins.
Aladdin. That's what he's comparing your level 1 improv to right now. Is
Compared to like Mork
What?
and
Compared to what?
Rick and Morky?
Rick and Morky? Is that it? Rick and Morty?
No.
Dude, I've been working. I'll occasionally pick up door shifts at Backyard on Bell, and I didn't know how huge that show was until like they've been doing Rick and Morty nights.
Very popular.
Very popular. I didn't know it was Dan Harmon.
Explain to the people at home, because there's some people out there that don't understand. Explain what working the door
Working the
means.
door, I sometimes am a security guy at a bar, which is really funny.
Can you imagine Joe stopping anybody?
I
like,
know.
Hey, the other day, Pudge goes, "Yeah, man, I was going to Backyard on Bell, and Joe was running the door, and he was like, 'Hey, everyone, it's gonna be $5 to get in.'"
Oh yeah,
and then
I'm having
Pudge walked up, and he said that you kind of looked at him, and you're like, I
kind of just
gotta
snuck
do it.
Pudge.
He's like, I got to do that because of them.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Well, yeah, it's like a weird thing. I'm having to like collect a cover because like the people running the show are doing it, but I'm just working for the venue.
So it's funny you mentioned that because to pay for these improv classes,
you had to intern, right?
I interned at the club at the Dallas Comedy House.
What? Deep Ellum area.
Ellum. And I did that Thursday nights, and I would work the door a lot. And, I'm not in any position to be like in a position of authority.
Yeah.
That. Well, I mean, because it's like you got to check IDs and all that. And after a certain hour, everybody has to be 21 and up. I think like after 9 o'clock, it's because before then, I think you can be.
And so, because intern is mainly like door and both doors, right? Because there's a door to check IDs and there's a door for tickets into the showroom, right?
Yeah. So it's like you come in, get your ID checked, then you go do all your ticket stuff at the box.
Have you had to throw anyone
and that's
out?
for free? You did that for free?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't do it. I mean, I didn't work. I guess technically you're working to pay for the class.
The improv classes.
But there was one night when these 2 Muslim women came in. They were in burqas, and Muslims don't drink. And I just remember like they weren't particularly offended that I was like having the stamp, like put a 21 and up stamp on them, but it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I mean, that's crazy. So, how did that transpire? Like, what happened after that?
After the
that sounds like a very Larry David moment.
It was just uncomfortable. It was just like, why am I stamping people who are teetotal?
Did they not have IDs?
They had IDs, but they were just like, we're obviously Muslim. We don't drink.
Yeah, so you had to stamp it as a non-drink.
Yeah. It's like me.
I don't understand.
Like me not drinking.
Yeah. But do you get stamped because you don't drink?
Yeah.
So wait, you
you gotta stamp everybody, even if they do drink.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Oh, so essentially, okay. I'm so confused. I had no idea where this story was.
Anyway,
I kind of checked out for a bit.
I feel you there. I work the door, and it's like
is that anything
weird.
different than working a room?
No, not at all. It's nothing like working a room. People don't you know, you're not trying to run bit. You kind of got to establish some sort of authority, especially like sort of like backyard where you get like a lot of really drunk people. I mean, I had a guy. I'm pretty cool. I'm kind of the good cop.
I've seen you kind of act tough.
No, not at all.
You're kind of like
no.
a tough guy.
No, I'm not.
You
a
get
tough guy
around
at all.
Cap, and you're kind of like.
That's not true. See, Cap plays the back. Cap, the head of security, who he sometimes
He's bad
works in
Cap?
He's bad cop. He's bad Cap. And then I'm good cop. I sit there. But I had a guy. He was like across the parking lot. I was like, "Hey man, can I see your ID?" Because you got to cover 2 doors. You got the backyard door and then the front door. And he goes, "What'd you call me?" And I already knew. I'm like, "Man, this is gonna be an issue." So he doesn't look a day older than me. I look at his ID. He's like 5 years older than me. He goes, "How old are you, man?" I go, 26, and so he's 31, and he starts going lecturing me on you should address me as sir. I served in the military. I do business. I don't work with people who call me man. And it's just such a word that like it slipped up, you know. It's just a word I say. So I was like, all right, man, have a good day. And I like walked away, and apparently he was really mad, and Greg the bartender had to hear an earful from him. But I don't know, man.
Well, shout out to Greg.
We
have a question. Improv classes, so you go when you want to?
Yeah, well, you
sign up.
You sign up. Like,
Yeah.
you just go to the Dallas Comedy House website, and you could sign up for the classes.
Mm-hmm.
And
how much the classes cost if you don't intern?
$275.
$275.
Yeah.
For how many classes? That's like 6 weeks.
That's
right?
That's 7 weeks, and that's for like each level, I believe.
Okay.
So
you
you're
can
gonna go to all the
intern. You can
levels?
intern to do them for free if you want to hang out around comedy and be at the comedy.
Yeah,
house
you
and all
intern.
that.
Like when you intern, I mean, it's I was already pretty entrenched in comedy, so I'd seen already seen just a lot of comedy shows.
Yeah.
But if you don't know much about that world and you intern,
right,
you do just get to see a whole lot of comedy shows.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's fun to be around. You know, kind of puts you in the mindset too. If you're doing comedy, that always kind of you're in that mindset if you're around comedy.
See, as a rapper, that's irritating. Like I hate. I wouldn't be able to work the door because it's like a different medium. You know what I mean? Like that guy was just working the door. People would think like that was weird.
Oh well,
people do that all the time though. Like at the comedy clubs, especially. I've seen that at Hyenas. People they'll be like working the door, and then they go up and do a guest spot, and then.
I mean, if your name was like Steve the Door Guy, you could do that.
But I wasn't performing on nights that I was like interning.
Okay.
I've done that before. I've done places where like I'm seating people or working the door, and then
you go up.
And then I go
I've
up
only
on
worked
stage
the door
and it's like,
once,
and that feels weird.
It feels because it's like. Did you guys enjoy it when I was awkward about making you sit up front?
Yeah.
How about
I had to do that for the Sharon Needles show. I had to work door at Backyard, and then I had to go up and perform. And immediately, everyone's like, "Oh, the door guy's up on stage." Yeah. Like the guy who
I had one show.
The guy who marks X's on my hands because I forgot my ID, but I swore I was 21. And those people aren't gonna laugh at me. You know what I mean? They're already like. I remember when I was young, I hated the door guy.
You always do. Yeah, I hated the door guy at Chuck E. Cheese.
Checking ID.
Yeah. Why do you need to have a kid to get in there?
Is that really a thing?
That is a thing.
Well, I mean, there's reasons, but there's reasons you need to have a kid to go. It's the same with the Lego store too. In the Lego store in Grapevine Mills area, you have to have a child. Like, and I agree. Though.
Then
I like Legos.
Then I gotta go kidnap a kid.
Yeah.
Well, the Applebee's right here. You got to be over 21 after midnight, so you have to have an adult.
Yeah, but they got the dollar beers. That's the thing. Plug in Applebee's. If you want to be a sponsor, we're looking for sponsors.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could do like a trade-off, like find a kid that wants to go to Applebee's after midnight, and then you want to go to. No,
that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
This is a harebrained scheme.
I want to be at the bar.
So what?
You're 7.
What were you? You were in El Paso recently.
I was in El Paso checking it out.
Checking it out, just.
Checking out El Paso,
There's family out there, right?
And met,
significant other's family?
I went and met my girlfriend's family.
Dang, how did that go? They love you, right?
I'm like the coolest person in school.
They love you, huh?
Teachers hate me, students love me.
It's that.
And then some of the teachers end up really liking you.
That's like a super hard thing is meeting because when you take on a relationship role and then you're meeting that person's like you're taking on a new family. You know what I mean? You have another family that you are now involved with.
And I know that no matter what,
I already have issues with my own family.
No matter who the girl is, like I know that their family, like, doesn't have a place for me. Like they never thought like, oh, there's gonna be like a Richie in our life one day.
What
You
is
know
a
what I mean?
Richie for
Which
our,
just
for our
catches everyone
iTunes
off
and
guard.
iHeart, for the people that can't visually see you? What is it? Or just and they
Tremendous.
What is
The word tremendous comes to mind.
to mind when you look at
astonishing, spectacular.
All right, I want to hear what
stupendous.
Dalton, the words that come to mind when you see Richie, because I don't think it's going to be tremendous.
Homeless.
Exactly.
Derelict.
Monumental.
Derelict's your favorite monumental.
I've said derelict twice now. You're right. It's a fun word.
I think you said it on another episode, too.
Probably.
But
I have
it's
a
normally
limited,
in reference to Richie.
I have a
It's
limited
we got
vocabulary.
No, you don't. You're well-read
I
man.
went to high school on. Shout out to Juan.
Did you go
He
to
just-
you went
yeah.
to school with Juan?
He just lost a bunch of weight.
Hey, what's up,
Oh,
Juan?
yeah.
Francisco Apollinaire.
Apollinar.
Apollinaire, is that his trade?
Is that his trait? It's his last name.
Oh, okay.
No, he works in IT.
I thought he was Apollinaire. I thought that was like a human bee. I don't know. I'm new to this.
Where in high school was that? That was in Springtown, right?
Yeah, man. We were-
Springtown.
the-
Hey, shout out to Springtown.
What
I actually went
what
to
is there do in-
Springtown recently.
I've been to Springtown.
As soon as I was there, I was there on my way back to Denton through Weatherford, and when I moved to my new house, and as soon as I went to Springtown, I called Dalton, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in Springtown right now. Is there anywhere you want me to say hi to?" And he was like, "No, no, of course not."
Get out of there as fast as you can. What is the population of Springtown?
I don't know, man. It's one of those towns where like a bunch of people went to get away from it all.
Yeah.
So it's probably got like a huge population.
It's just like your neighbors
I
are
remember,
so
like, it was
far
a town,
away.
It's a town where there like nothing's there. We have like a grocery store, Chicken Express,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But there's like nothing to do there. But I remember like my graduating class was pretty big.
I remember one day we were on the way to Abbey, you and I, to go do a set, and we ran into some people you went to high school with.
Yeah,
I hate that. That's why I'm happy I kind of change up my look sometimes, shave the face or like grow out hair, or cut it all off, because I hate. There's certain people I do want to recognize me and I want to catch up with, but then there's always those certain people that or I don't know if they recognize me or not, but I just act like I don't recognize them, and that can be a total like. You know what move?
Yeah.
But
I just don't want to. I hate the small talk.
Sometimes
man.
I'll even see you guys on the streets and go,
We're just like,
I don't, you know what?
I'm gonna walk this way.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I mean, just now when I was out there doing interviews, somebody said, "Hey, Richie Flo," and I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" I was like, "What's your name again?" He's like, "Oh, you never met me. I know somebody that you know. I live in Fort Worth. It's crazy that I just saw you here in the streets."
How
here."
vague is that? That's not crazy at all. If I'm looking for you, if you go missing, I'm going to the Denton Square.
No, I
Like,
know,
it's-
but like they're like I don't know what to do in that situation. Like I didn't
So
know
what
what
did
to
you do? Just show them a magic trick?
No, I was like, "That's cool," and they're like, "Where should I eat?" And I go, "Abbey Inn has half
Half price apps.
And they were like, "Oh, what is that?" And I was like, "I've never been there." And they
I
go,
learned
"How do
about
you know?"
that from Dalton.
It says on the sign.
You lost so much weight. You're not hitting half price apps anymore.
I've been eating like garbage the last
Really?
few weeks, dude. Yeah, I stopped.
You're an intern now, though. You're
done
getting the
interning.
intern weight.
He's done interning.
Oh yeah, I just paid for the next class.
What?
I'm too busy to intern.
You're gonna pay for the next one?
Yeah.
So you're hooked. You're improv hooked.
Well, I mean,
Are you
It's-
are
You're in
you
it.
are you wanting to get to that 5th level?
I think I don't know how much of me. Look, I started it and I'm finishing it.
Yeah. No,
You could easily
I mean,
go
said-
from Father of the Bride, Steve Martin, to
I think that's tight.
Steve Martin now.
Let's talk about it, boys, because it's
Yeah,
Let's-
what was it? What did they do? They had you draw like names out of a hat, and you would have to like.
No.
What kind of games? What kind of games?
There
did you play?
okay, so that's what's crazy about like I get I'm still a novice, but like this kind of long form improv that we do,
Mhm.
where it's like all that who's line stuff.
Yeah.
is
Is that real?
is
What do you mean?
It's not
Is Who's
fake.
Line-
I mean,
Is who's
No, but
line
like-
real or the games and the style?
Yeah, is it like that?
I've never done that. Like doing like level 1 improv, like that who's line stuff is just like those short form games.
Is that what you were expecting?
No, because
No.
I already knew enough about improv
Yeah.
to just know like what I was
Yeah,
kind of
I
going
did.
into.
I did a little bit of high school theater and did some improv games and stuff. And it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, but like
It can be uncomfortable though if you're with like bad partner or if it's just.
When I was in
starts
theater
off-
arts, that was my problem. I
It-
was always with a bad partner who
That was
who
your-
wouldn't be funny with the dialogue. They would like shut down, or they would like ruin what we were doing to try to make that part of it funny.
I imagine you would also say some obscure, outlandish stuff that would probably throw them off and make
But
it
I feel
hard
like
for
you
them
should be able to
follow
work
up.
with that.
That's
like,
what improv is.
Yeah.
So
You
Well,
should be able to work
what are the
with
rules
the-
of improv? What are the? I
Yeah,
forgot.
can you
'em.
go scripted at
you
some
always,
point?
No. It's
You always
really-
say yes, right? You
yes,
always agree.
Yes, and
Yes, and
listen to each other, support each other.
Okay. That's
So
it?
everything I've always hated.
Yeah, I was gonna say everything that is not.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been a notoriously negative person, so much so
That's
that
fair.
I achieved the moniker of Salty Dalty.
Did you make some friends in there?
Yeah, man, that was the main reason I got into it. Is because like I've spent a lot of time just being like very negative.
Yeah.
And
How
sad.
are like in you know?
You feel like it opened you up.
I just find, yeah, I wasn't a very supportive person in general.
Is it
and,
clicky?
It can be.
Well,
but
you
that,
have
I mean,
a-
that's comedy in general.
Yeah, but in the class you get like a group, right, that you work with.
Yeah, you work with like a group of students, and I mean, it's pretty interesting to just feel that happen where it's like just a bunch of randos get together and then just become friends because they wanted to do something goofy.
Exactly. Are you thinking about making like a troupe
I mean, I guess that's one of the goals, yeah. I don't
with these people? Like what are y'all gonna be called?
Who would be?
Well, I don't know if it would be these same people level 1 because I don't know if they're all going to stick with it. but-
Make them.
all the
Make
way
them. Make them.
I think one of them's already like moving out of state. You know,
Don't let them.
Moving,
Give them a reason to
moving
stay.
to Cali, going to
No,
Hollywood.
because well, here's the thing: you could be their reason to stay. And I'm just throwing that out there.
That sounds like.
But you're also assuming that all of these people are people that he wants to continue.
Are they hilarious?
Some of them,
Were there
he might,
hilarious
but-
people in the group?
Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
I'll
But
say
you sometimes get people in a group that you're like, okay, well, this is for class. and
I feel
it's
like
not
I was always that person. Like I was always in the class where the other class was cool, and my class, I'd like look around and be like.
But it's
This
like
is the
any
class I
class.
got
You're going to
in.
have certain people that you get
Well-
along with and that you enjoy their company. Then you're going to have certain people that you guys just don't click.
well, I'm the coolest person in any room.
And
Of course.
I'm always like
coolest shirts, at least.
the coolest shirts. And
Body temperature wise too, I've
Uh,
never seen you sweat.
Yeah, I'm having iron
Yeah,
deficiency.
how? You are not sweaty at
Sweaty?
all in what you're wearing right now.
I'm good. I'm
I
just
feel
you
kind
know,
of hot in
Summer.
shorts and a t-shirt.
I got my sweating under control.
By the way, I'm wearing
Yeah?
this shirt that I got sent to me. I said, send me shirts Facebook and I'll wear them on the show. So, thank you.
What is that from? It says Dallas Filth, and it has a, what is that? Is that a mosquito?
I meant to do more research on it, but I
Okay.
didn't.
That's not a very good plug.
Thank you.
You cut your hair recently, Dalton. It's growing out. I've been wanting to, like, shave mine off.
Not now.
But given,
Yeah, bad timing,
given,
dude.
yeah,
Don't.
exactly. That
Oh
was-
boy.
And well, no, that's like, it was something, because I have these new clippers, and I was like thinking about it, and then that thought occurred to me, and I was like, oh man, this could not be a worse
You're
time.
gonna want to grow
I
it
just
out
don't
as
wanna deal
long
with
as
hair.
possible.
I just don't want to deal with
You're gonna.
That's ridiculous. I don't want to deal with hair. You know, like,
I
I'm
don't
sick
either,
of-
but you know, unfortunately,
I know.
that's the
That's
politics of-
been ruined for me by other people.
You have to be pro hair right now.
Pro hair.
Yeah,
Just like you.
You gotta go see the play, musical hair.
The play, the hair isn't it hairspray?
No, there's
10,100.
hair,
Is
and then
the-
there's hairspray.
Okay, what's the difference between hair and hairspray? I've never heard of hair.
Well, hairspray is a compound that goes on.
Okay, we're talking about the plays, the Broadway plays.
Oh, hair is about a guy who does hair. Hairspray is about a woman who does hair.
Nope, I don't think that's right at all, man. Isn't it hair? It's like hippies.
Oh, hair's about a rabbit
Ah.
who's really fast.
No, it's about hippies. That would
And then
make sense.
hairspray is about some large woman.
Yeah, who does hair maybe?
My
I don't
least, my least part was, my least favorite part was when hair lost the race at the very end.
So you guys want to like keep talking about improv?
Yeah, man. What's
All
up?
Hey, what else? Tell us more about improv.
I'll say this because it's like I was pretty against it for a while. I thought like, because going into stand up, I thought stand up was just so cool.
Yeah,
And it's like you're by yourself and you're like spotlight's on you and
it's all on you.
yeah. But also I realized like I was like super depressed and negative and just felt very alone and detached from everybody. And I noticed like going up to that club week after week, there was people I have seen there for years now who I don't even know their names. And I was, because they're all they just do like improv stuff.
Right.
And they all seem to be having fun together, and I was I was like
You're
such
over
a
there in the corner being salty Dalty.
just old salty.
They
Dalty.
called you Salty Dalty there?
I gained that nickname just from my friends.
And then they wrote about it in the Denton Night, the Damn Awards.
Yeah. I
for
told
Best
him.
Comedian.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a reputation for just being like very negative and
I know.
Standoffish. So I wanted to be more of a better person. So I started taking these classes to just.
Maybe I should do improv because I sometimes get that.
It helps. I mean, it's a very it's great because I love.
Did you exercise your creativity for sure? Right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how do you think you think it's helped you in terms of? I mean, obviously, it helps you with stand up.
Because right now, when you're doing stand up, it's 100% your mind. You have to think of a concept. You have to make it funny. All this stuff, and I feel like at least doing something like this, someone's at least giving you, hey, here's something.
Yeah, people.
But it can translate.
You're all just supporting each other, so no one's like trying to take over the scene.
Yeah.
No one is.
I don't really like this new teamwork, Dalton.
Oh yeah, it's the worst version of me. But
it's the least funny. That's for sure.
I'm
so
like you picked up the.
You're
check
so
for
rosy cheeked right now.
Well, I'll start insulting you guys in a minute. You guys had me on to preach the gospel of
improv,
improvisation,
which I never thought would happen, and definitely not with you being the guy to do it.
I mean, look, man, for a lot of people, it did change their lives the same way, like for us. Doing stand-up was what changed our life. It was like just a way to find a community.
Oh, I'm not making fun of it at all. I actually am. You kind of make me interested now in wanting to do it, just in terms of I think it would obviously it helps you when you're on your toes doing stand-up. I mean, when you're riffing up there on stage by yourself.
It makes you better at riffing and not.
You got to think quick.
You're not so reliant on like a set list.
So here's an interesting question: do you think stand-up translates into improv at all? Like being a stand-up comic helped you in any way doing improv? Because I would think it doesn't translate as well as improv would help you. As much as improv could help you with your stand-up comedy, I can't imagine much stand-up comedy helps you be good at improv. Other than maybe being quick, I guess.
I'll say this, improv is like a completely different beast.
Yeah, it's a different game.
It was uncomfortable and awkward, and you got to go into it with an open mind, with just a clean slate. You got to be like... You gotta be like Jon Snow. You know nothing.
Right. You know nothing.
But I will say,
Arya, you are no one.
I'm no. Yeah, that's great, dude. That whole arc was about improv, by the way.
Yeah.
What was it? I'll say this about doing like
you gotta go in there being open.
You do stand up for a while. You do just over time develop a sense of timing and persona and performance, and you already have dealt with like the nerves of being in front of an audience.
So are you like when you're up there doing an improv scene, are you creating characters, or are you generally being kind of like a Dalton-like character? You know how like it's I mean so like someone like Nick Offerman, how the Ron Swanson role, it's very Nick Offerman. Although I just recently saw that. Have you seen the Founder movie yet with Mike Keaton about the McDonald's?
That was awesome.
That was
Is
awesome.
it good?
And it's totally not Nick. It took me a couple minutes to realize it was Nick Offerman. Oh, McDonald's screwed over so many people.
No, I know. Of course it did. Ronald, I mean.
But what I was trying to say.
We hired him for a party. Go ahead.
No. But you hired him for a party?
He didn't
You're the magician. You shouldn't be hiring anybody.
By the way, I'd also, just side note, as I was drinking this water, I noticed my neck really hurts. Because 2 nights ago I did karaoke. And
what'd you sing?
I sang One Arm Scissor by At the Drive-In, which we've
go.
talked about before.
Yeah,
and I went for it.
Song.
And my whole neck is hurt from trying to sing that song.
God, that is so funny.
Awesome.
Where was this?
It was at Abbey Underground.
Really?
Yeah.
Sober karaoke?
Yeah. No, not really. But yeah, let's not even talk about that yet.
No. But that's okay. So what I was gonna say is like, so when you go in though. You know, like Nick Offerman, he very much. There's a lot of characters. They're character actors. You know, they play. So when you're up there improv and you're like creating a scene, if you're being a butcher, if you're being something, are you doing it kind of? I don't know why I assume that was the first.
You're a candlestick baker. You're a baker.
Whatever, but I think you could play a great butcher, by the way. But do you go in kind of like as Dalton? Does that make sense at all?
Just because I'm an amateur, yeah. Like I go in and it's like I'm not comfortable committing to like a
You're not
scene.
Johnny Depp where you're creating these abstract characters.
I imagine you're the butcher that doesn't want to be a butcher.
So
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Butcher with rock and roll dreams.
I'm gonna say this, and you're not
pulls off his apron and out comes the rose petal shirt.
You're not supposed to do what I did.
Of course,
but,
you're rule bender.
Well, no, it's just the thing is I'm uncomfortable committing to a character.
Yeah.
So I would go out almost like a wink to the audience, like you can see that I am doing, and you're not supposed to. You're supposed to really commit to the reality that's being created.
For sure. You're like, they're like, okay, in this next scene, you're going to be a deer. And you come out and
you
you're
kind
like,
of Andy Kaufman.
I'm a deer. Like, are you a deer? You deer.
Yeah.
I'm a deer.
I'm a deer. Look at my deer stuff. I don't know. I'm not familiar with
But, so it was almost, you almost Kaufman improv. I mean, you're going up and you were.
No, I'm not trying to, like.
You weren't. I mean, you weren't hamming it up. I assume.
I wasn't hamming it up, but it was like I wasn't particularly committing.
You kind of had a shtick.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to do that.
You were the butcher. You were the butcher with a shtick.
That's the thing about a level 1.
I imagine it's hilarious with you. Though.
That's the thing is it got laughs. Like it got laughs, but it's like you're not really supposed to do that.
Does a lot of level 1 get laughs?
Did they hate?
From what I understand, level 1 showcases are notoriously pretty bad.
Did they think that you
kind of like first year comedy, like first year stand up? It's generally unless you move on some fast track, first year comic.
But I'll say this: we had a fun time doing that show, and I mean, the audience seemed to really enjoy it.
So when's your next showcase? I want to come see you do
improv showcase.
We should have asked you for some footage of improv. Is that like how do improv group troops feel about that? Would you have had to ask your whole troop?
I constantly see people posting like photos of.
Would you have had to ask them if we did a clip today, like all your? Hey guys,
I don't think people like to film improv because it's like it's only supposed to exist
within
also, have you ever tried to watch like clips
something
of improv?
on?
It doesn't translate. It's like the same thing with like most stand-up specials don't translate that well. Like you go see a comic at a club live, it is so much
times better.
funnier.
Than you're surrounded by the laughter.
Yeah.
It's like it's real surround sound.
Are you a Carlin guy or a what's his name?
Prior guy.
Prior guy.
I like both of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know both of them, but I know one of them.
I like both too. It's just when we were talking about it, I just happened to say, and I mean, I'm not saying.
Hey, I have a Carlin thing. He's like, oh, I'm more of a Prior guy.
I didn't say it like that.
All right.
I said I like Carlin. Carlin makes me laugh. I like Pryor better. I don't know why. I mean, I don't even know if they're comparable. I mean, they were just both hot at the same time.
I mean, they're decent.
Like, and I mean, but
they're both dead now. So
there you go. Zinger.
We win.
Zinger.
The live people.
So we want to do some weird news or what?
Hold on, let me give a shout out to my
some more
improv teacher, Rob Howe, TA, Amy McGiffin, classmates, Kara Pennington.
Who's the best? Who's the star?
I'm not even going to answer that. That's not the point of improv. Let me get classmates.
Everyone supports everybody, Richie.
See, I don't like that. In my improv class, I would be like, dude, get out of here with you pulling a sword in every like sketch. Like the guy's like,
he always falls back on the sword.
Stop with the sword.
Always falls.
Can I finish? Let me do these shout outs.
Oh, let's get them in.
Rob Howe, teacher, TA, Amy McGiffin. Classmates, Kara Pennington, Summer Myers.
Love you, Summer.
David Drown, who we've actually seen do horrible fantasy football stand-up. You know what I'm talking about?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is he the guy that brought the 200 people?
He brought a bunch of people to Bearded Monk one night.
Oh, okay. No, not
the
guy. Not the guy at Hyenas.
He brought a bunch of people to film it?
Hold on. And then there was another guy in my class, William Zamora. I think that's everybody that was in my class.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, David Drown. He came up to Bearded Monk one night.
Did he lose a fantasy football bet?
Yeah.
How many times does that happen?
I've seen
that happen at least 5 times in my 3.5 years of comedy.
I told him like
somebody loses a bet,
and they have to do stand up. They have to do an open mic, and all their friends will come to the open mic, and it gets packed. So recall this because I don't even recall this at my own mic.
It was just because I was hosting that night. That's why.
Oh, you were my guest host. Where was I? Was I out of town?
Yeah, you were somewhere, but yeah, he showed up with like his posse, and they all set up cameras.
How many people?
Just it was like most of the room.
Yeah.
It's like 9
First time.
people.
Nice.
10
Jeez, I wish I could get 10 people to care right now.
But they set up a camera, and he goes up and does just purposefully bad jokes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them were just about, like, frogs.
Was he trying to be satirical about it?
No, he had just lost fantasy football. And the
but he was trying.
No. The overall joke was they were bad jokes. And his fantasy football league was, like, laughing at him. And I was standing in the back going, do I just not know what comedy is? Like,
and then you realized what it was.
But we talked about it.
You felt like he was killing and...
No, I just was like, these are bad, right? Like, I don't know why these people are laughing.
But you also knew, I mean, you probably saw those people walk in with him, so you had some context to know.
I figured something was up.
That safety net that those first comics always have. Because, I mean, when you start comedy, all your friends want to come. And then when you get to where me and Dalton are, none of your friends care anymore at all. And then then I don't even see as much of my friends outside of comedy anymore because I'm always doing comedy.
I can't get you to come to a show and pay.
Oh, I mean, what are you talking about?
I mean, they're not going to charge you.
I feel like we
at
always,
the places I have shows,
but we always have shows on the same day. That's always the issue. It's not.
Yeah, what's up with your manager, your booking manager, Skylar?
Skylar, yeah, I wish Skylar was real. That'd make my life a lot easier. Hey, can we talk about the time? Speaking of fantasy football losses, the time at Hyenas Comedy Club in Dallas, open mic night. I walk in late, and there is a guy who is sitting on the stool with his feet on the table. Just looks kind of like doesn't look like he belongs in a comedy club guy. Uptown Dallas-y looking guy. Does not look like a comic. Very good looking. Doesn't look like he needs any of this.
Yeah,
and the room, rough. The room is packed, though. It is the most packed I've ever seen that open mic. It was packed as crap. And like hundreds of people. And it turns out this guy's whole fraternity came, and the sorority sister, whatever, came to see him do stand-up because he lost at a fantasy football match.
Boat shoes that night.
And he kept running over the light, which the light means, for those that don't know about stand-up, that means you have 1 minute. So he kept going and was looking off his phone, feet on the table, being disrespectful, not funny. But, same thing as the Bearded Monk. All 100 of his friends are laughing. Mm-hmm. So they had to, like, pull him off stage. So did you have to follow him, or did you go up and get him off stage?
Right. Well, what happened was
Alex Axon went up and pulled him off stage.
Because he was blowing the light, and she was just sitting in the audience, and she was like, hey, you've gone over the light now like 4 times. And he yelled at her.
And this guy just screamed to the worst.
And and she rushed the stage. She wasn't even hosting. She was just like mad at him. She rushed the stage and forced him off and snatched the mic out of his hand. And she said, all right, that's it for him. Guys, let's bring up your next comedian, Dalton Pruitt. And I was like,
well, and right there in that situation, as a comic, and I'm sure you were feeling the same thing too, just like any set, but especially that like climate of that room right there, that can go so many ways in such a great direction. Like their friend just got pulled off, and they're, it was an entitled crowd that felt like he deserved to be up there. So then you have to follow up there, and you're either going to kill in that situation, or you're either going to, they don't want you up there.
I live for moments like that,
and
man.
Dalton lit it. Oh,
yeah, dude.
He tore into these kids about trust funds, asked them what their degree was. Like, how many of you are even going to be doctors? And none of them raised their hand. He's like, exactly.
Yeah, it was fun, man, because it was just like I 100% did not care what they thought about me.
It was nothing short of, and I've told people, it was heroic. That's how I describe it. It was the most heroic comedic effort I've ever. Can you say the joke about how you got kicked out of the sorority? Does that feel weird to say? Like
I don't want to do like the bit here, but yeah, I mean like, because I know fraternities because I tried to pledge one when I started college.
They didn't get you? They didn't accept you?
No, it's surprising, right?
You look like
why not?
Frat boy.
I was a lousy alcoholic at the time, and I was overdoing it, drinking too much, and
had no khakis.
It's like, but speaking of Rick and Morty, it's like that like 2 episodes ago when he blacks out.
Yeah. Oh, and then he wakes up.
That guy says, the guy's like, I do like sexy drinking, not this trailer trash psycho stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I relate to that so hard because like the way that I would drink, I would go overboard.
There's a difference between a double vodka water and a martini. Like there's kind of a different kind of.
Or just chugging a Four Loko. And
well, that's fair.
Chasing it with tequila.
That's fair too. In college, we used to do brass monkeys, and you would just pour orange juice inside of a 40 to make it. It was terrible.
That's
it was
disgusting.
the worst thing ever. But everyone I hung out with thought it was so cool, and it was the Beastie Boys song. So. Weird news.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
talk about
Do
it.
the
Let's talk about
thing.
Donald Trump. Let's talk about.
We need a weird news. We need a weird news drop still, and we need someone to sponsor.
Weird news.
The news is so
strange.
weird.
This is not just weird; it's also
Weird,
strange.
weird news. All right. So
In Rubik's Cube news, I got the white side.
he's been doing a Rubik's Cube this whole time. Hey, do you think? All right. So we have about a little over 15 minutes. You think you can get it done before the show's over?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
gonna try to not pay
Let's see.
attention. To
No,
it.
but you still got to be involved in the conversation.
sure.
That's the okay.
I'm
Cool.
gonna try to do it without even.
All right, we ready? A farmer in southern England has thanked the firefighters who saved her piglets from a blazing barn in the most apt way. Rachel Rivers, the farmer, treated crew members at Pusey Fire Station to a batch of sausage, which were made from the very animals they had rescued from the fire at her farm in Milton Lilbourne, Wiltshire. Oh, how twisted is that? I wanted to thank them, Rivers told the BBC. I promised them at the time I'd bring them down some sausage for them, which they were all pleased about. I might feel conflicted about eating that sausage.
I mean,
you literally
especially if you
saved it
saved it.
from becoming bacon, and now you're going to go sit there and roast these weenies over a fire.
I'm not roasting any weenies.
Rivers admitted, and she gave them away for free too. So it's not like it's not like they saved her any money.
So they rescued these pigs
Out from a burning barn, and then she made them into sausage, the very pigs, and gave them to the firefighters. I feel like that is the most redundant. These guys risked their
awesome.
life for something that was already gonna
Die.
Yeah.
That seems a little redundant.
Well, I mean, I get that. It's like
She didn't make a.
But here's the thing. It's like, in like you see it in movies, and maybe it happens in real life, but we're like, firefighters will save people in a building, and then like some woman is like, my cats are in there, and you go save like this old woman's cats,
And she
and
gives
it's
you
like-
cat sausage.
But no, you don't even get to eat the cats. It's like
they don't even give you the cats.
They don't even
Yeah.
get to keep it.
So it's like, I appreciate this where it's like they saved the pigs, and she's like, that was hey, you know what? Good job, guys. Here's some.
I mean,
Yeah. Here's some pig for you.
you remember Leela? Now you can taste her. Is Leela, that's a pretty good pig name, right? Rivers admitted that vegetarians were likely to, quote, hate this, but she added, we farm and this is what we do. You can't keep them as pets. Have you ever known anyone that had a pet pig?
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Springtown. Pet pigs? I know
had
someone
had
at
a
Flower
pet
Mountain
pig.
that had a pet pig. My ex-girlfriend had a pet pig, and it was
I know
so
people with pet pigs.
weird. Yeah, but then they end up eating them. Do you know that situation?
I've heard about that.
That's so
awesome.
weird.
I wish we did that with dogs.
Just establish a relationship with it. Pusey dogs and cats. Okay. You seem more excited about that than the pork sausage.
No, this store. I love yeah. Well, have you ever had dog sausage?
No, I have not.
Dogs-
Okay.
I mean, I might have not known
I feel like
about
the
it.
producer's gonna get upset about dog sausage. We should.
It's a sensitive subject here.
But let's talk about pork sausage.
Well, I
because-
mean, I
Because
worked-
apparently that's so much better, you know, like
Because they
one
have-
life.
you want to know why it is? Because they
'Cause
have
they don't-
hooves. They're an unclean animal.
Because they make a lot of noise when they walk around your
Yes.
house.
I have pet
Pigs are
rabbits,
fast.
right? I have pet rabbits.
Richie does have pet rabbits.
I got some little pet rabbits, and it's weird because I work also at a restaurant that cooks rabbit.
That's a conflicting
And
feeling.
so one day I'm holding this rabbit, and I tell this guy, I'm like, hey, man, this is weird because I actually have pet rabbits. And he said, yeah, that's what they look like without clothes on. And I'm just holding this skinned rabbit.
Can I add most weird news ends up being a story about some drug fiend criminal or something weird about animals? I feel like that's all weird news is consisting of.
That's the weirdest part.
Animals
about
are weird. Pusey
Y'all
Fire
ready?
Station. Oh, wait. What side? Did you finish it already? It would have been a lot cooler if you finished right on the dot, but whatever. All right, Richie finished the Rubik's Cube,
Boom.
everybody. Pusey Fire Station shared photographs of the gift, which they barbecued Facebook on Monday. Said they were delicious, yada yada. Spokesman thanked her for her generosity. And we can, okay. So that was that. That's
You want to
super
talk
weird,
about the
man.
eclipse?
Oh,
No, I have some stuff on that. So
Yes.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Did you see it?
No.
Why not?
It's the same problem I have with like.
I slept through it.
It's the same problem I have with like New Year's parties, where it's
Uh-huh.
like there's too much pressure to enjoy this, and now.
Well,
So you just
here's the
stayed
pressure.
inside, like-
I was one of the people who like I'm very behind. I wasn't keeping track of it. Everyone's like, "You're gonna watch the clips and you're gonna see the eclipse," and I'm like, of course I am. You know, I didn't even think about it. Then someone's like, "Hey, you know, the eclipse is tomorrow." No plans of watching it. Not at all.
How'd you get your glasses? 'Cause I went to your house and you had some glasses.
Matt Kernan brought them by, but he.
But how
here's
does
the
he
thing.
get them? Who was
His
issuing
job.
the glasses?
He had
Okay.
official NASA ones.
Yeah, I saw 'em.
But I just remember like looking at it. It was cool, but it was more like if you want to see it, like take a flashlight and then lay an Oreo cookie on it.
Okay.
And just I mean,
so what? Wait, what time did it happen at?
I don't know.
What time? Do we know what time it happened?
109.
Jake, do we know what time it was?
Something
at?
very specific.
1:24. See, and I never sleep that late, and I slept through the whole thing.
Oh,
Woke
you
up
weren't
and then
napping? This
checked
was like
on-
night sleep?
No, this was like night sleep. I don't do that, and I went to bed early that night too.
You wanna know what's
So I was
crazy?
catching up, I guess. But
The eclipse happened while Mercury is in retrograde.
I know.
Really?
I heard about that.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
So what does that
but-
mean?
I don't know
I
what
was
that
gonna
means.
say, are you gonna
I was
hit me
saying,
with?
That's why we were all
Is
feeling
that true?
sorrowful.
Is that
the
true
other day.
though?
I don't know what Mercury.
What is
in
retrograde?
I don't know what that means. I hear people say that.
You're
That's,
just a well-read man, so when you say something like that, I assume.
No,
and I have to play
Mercury-
along. I have to play along.
Mercury
to be like, yeah,
in
totally, dude.
retrograde is the same thing as like people that wear crystals and do all this.
Okay.
It's like I don't know what it means. It's just people.
Good vibes, bro.
It's good. Hey,
Good
No,
vibes.
It's good to say
apparently it's
something.
bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
If Mercury's in
Ah.
retrograde, dude. I think that's the reason I've been having trouble like putting my phone down. I just keep checking it all the time.
Mercury Retrograde is a live album by Jesse Malin.
Nice.
So yeah,
Plug in Jesse.
Live
Shout out.
albums are very.
how Virgo is influencing the Mercury in retrograde.
Okay. Anyway, what? All right. Let's. You want to go to the next story about the eclipse?
Yes.
Okay. It was an arrest that only happens every 99 years, according to a Florida Sheriff's Department. A suspected car thief running from the law, like while in pursuit. It ended when authorities say he pulled over to watch Monday's solar eclipse, only to be nabbed by trailing deputies. Jackson Feliciano Rosado, 22 years old, was being pursued by Orange County Sheriff's Auto Theft Unit when he allegedly pulled into a Kissimmee. That is literally what a Kissimmee parking lot. To purchase a welder's mask to protect his eyes from the sun. So he stopped, bought a mask, like he had it planned out. Like he was like, no matter what I'm gonna be seeing this eclipse.
He was driving a Mitsubishi.
I don't know if it says what car. Once back at his vehicle, whichever it was, Rosada proceeded to watch the eclipse. The sheriff's department said he never saw it coming. Quote, as Rosado was standing in the parking lot next to the stolen car with the welding helmet on and looking up at the eclipse, and distracted deputies swooped in and made the arrest. They joked that only happens 99 years, yada yada. As far as the welder's mask, this is interesting, could have protected his eyes or anyone else's eyes. He's a similar mask. Oh, as far as whether it could protect, NASA recommended that any welding mask should have a shade number of 12 or higher to be affected, and his was not. So,
You folks ever welded?
I've never
No.
welded.
I have not.
I was in a
Have you?
welding class
Yes.
and I got
Took a
banned.
welding class.
In what, like high school?
Yeah, and I remember one day I dropped the torch in my lap.
No. No. What happened there?
Nothing really. I grabbed
Really?
it.
Grabbed it quick?
Before it lit my
Good reflexes?
my testicles on fire.
That torch
Yeah.
sounds lit.
That's a scientific term.
Yeah.
So another weird news story concerning the eclipse, which I think Jake actually has a video. So this weatherman, and Tom Skilling, a Chicago meteorologist, he just had the most hilarious reaction. I mean, do watch this guy, and we'll try to describe. Not really. Just listen to iTunes, iHeartRadio people. Yeah. You can still hear it, but just to give you, he's by like some Chicago lake with a bunch of people. He's in his suit. They're all in these like beach wear. Is the video showing? Okay, can we maximize it?
Wow.
And he's the voice you can hear most distinct. It's the mic'd up one. He's hugging them and he's crying and hugging
Look
these
at
people.
that. Look at that. Oh, my word. Wow. This is amazing. What do you think of this, guys? Here, buddy. Wow.
Some random dad walks up to him and just hugs him like, come here, buddy. We did it.
Congratulations.
We sat around and waited for a thing.
I don't know. I think we're going to be back here again.
All right,
you know?
all right.
This is
We'll see you back here.
He never
Look
thought
at
he'd see
this.
it.
Oh, my word.
Well, there was a bunch of
Look
construction
at the
workers in
horizon,
front of my
everybody.
house during that, and we went.
you can
and-
stop
Look
it there,
at
Jake.
that. It's like
We went
day
and brought
to
the
night.
glasses to the.
Did it bring tears to their eyes
construction-
like that, man?
They were so appreciative. I mean, you saw how they were treating me on my way out.
Yeah, we did walk out of his house and all the construction workers were
You want to
just
know
like,
what's really beautiful about this video?
what?
It's for a brief moment, these people forgot about the inevitability of their own death.
The great equalizer, you know,
Yeah.
all because of the moon and the sky.
For a
It's-
moment in time,
all bad news was just
they were able to set
obsolete.
aside their mortality.
right. And they came together in the name of a solar eclipse.
That's
and
all
that
we're
man
looking
was,
for, moments like that.
Wait, Jake, there's a second video on that site of him like saying some super duper cheesy stuff about it. Oh wait, did we already exit out? We'll still find it. I still totally think it's worth it. This dude was I mean, I don't think there is any better footage than a weatherman sitting there and just crying and hugging people over something he went to school for. Like, he should not be this. I mean, I guess, you know.
I mean, you know, I still cry whenever I see pinatas and stuff.
You know what I found, and I learned this.
Changing event. And we may start doing that too.
He's crying. He can't even finish it.
But I'll get my act together, guys. And I'll be back to you, I promise you. Guys, back to Chicago. Sorry about this.
Chicago.
You want to know what I learned? What I learned during my sojourn into improv is that when you're open to experience, you really do get to have moments like that.
You should become a meteorologist.
Where you
I don't
the
like
life
this
is
new
beautiful.
you. You make fun of that man right
For
now.
sure, that
Make
guy was
fun of that
crying
man
because of an eclipse.
He had
that
the
is
same
ridiculous.
He had the same reaction to seeing that eclipse as I had to Kesha's new album. Let's talk about
Well,
it, boys.
Kesha's new
Rainbow by Kesha.
That's not.
Speaking of rainbows, while I was in El Paso, I saw a rainbow, right? And that's cool enough.
I saw that on your Snapchat.
However, I actually saw the end of the rainbow, and we drove next to it, and I have it all on my Snap. I was like, oh, look, the end of the rainbow. And I zoom in, and they're like, yeah, you'll never be able to actually see it. I was like 10 feet away from this rainbow. It was insane. And I remember looking at the very, very end of it, the rainbow, and there was a little old lady. And I remember as I was driving by, I just thought, like, no, there was.
Stop.
No,
She's
I'm not saying she had a
dressing
pot of
all-
gold on her. I'm not saying she had a pot of gold on her, but I'm
Hey,
just
Lucky
saying.
Charms, Sonny.
The
That's
thought
a
went
good
through my
Irish accent. Good
the
job.
thought
Was
went,
that?
No.
the thought went through my head when I was passing her. Like, if anybody out here in El Paso I should rob, it should probably be her.
Here's how you get into an Irish accent. You got to go.
Improv.
No, this is just how you rev up for one. You go, hoi toy 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 toy, and then you go, and then you guys start saying like potatoes, potato,
The face you're making at me right now.
potatoes,
Potatoes.
and then you start saying stuff like Catholicism.
Mayonnaise.
All right, next weird news story. And Jake, you can pull up that, what you got on there to the screen. A pet owner saved his drowning tortoise's life after giving it the kiss of life for an hour. First off, let's look at this guy who
This dude just
very
made out
much-
with a tortoise.
I don't
very
like.
made
I don't
up.
like the way that's phrased. Pet owner.
What do you mean? He owns the pet.
Okay.
Sounds more like he's a pet lover.
Are you not
know
a
what I'm
rat?
saying?
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't he kind of resemble the turtle in a way with that look? Just kind
They
of
have
the
very,
facial
very,
and
very,
the green, and he's a very tortoise-like man.
Is it-
Anyway,
wait, you can't be switching between turtle and tortoise. It's two different animals.
is it?
Are
Yeah.
they?
Oh.
Yeah, they're different.
Tortoise and a half shell. Turtle power.
There you go. Disproven. All right, I don't know. What is it?
No, you didn't disprove it. You just made a joke. I think they're two different things.
I'm sure. I guarantee it is. When's the comment going to come? You know that comment will come.
Turtles have feet. Tortoises have
You don't know this. Anyway,
feet.
John Fletcher found 45-year-old Frida. How long do tortoises live?
Forever, dude. They're
Really?
ancient creatures.
Yeah, turtles don't live that long, though.
At the bottom of his
We
garden.
live on the back of 4 elephants who are standing on the back of a turtle.
Oh, stop. There is a picture of that on. There is like a meme picture of that, isn't
That's
there?
Terry Pratchett's Discworld. Shout out Terry Pratchett. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he's a big fan. John Fletcher, 45-year-old, at the bottom of his garden pond, limp and looking dead. Mr. Fletcher started performing CPR, gave the animal mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Middle-aged, quote, big lady tortoise. Frida lives with her owner at his home and has free reign in the back garden. He said it must have been there for at least an hour, took it out, and it was looking quite dead and limp. I decided to put my own mouth all the way around her head and give it a few short blows, having stretched its head out a little.
So, what?
A small half teaspoonful of water came out of his mouth, which I had opened, it said. Okay, so first off, the turtle was fine. The tortoise, whatever. It was fine. It made it. Frida is alive. But let's just say, I mean, how long is too long to be giving a tortoise mouth to mouth? All right, I guess we're gonna cut off here because there is a comment. Dalton, why won't you accept my friend request?
Because I don't know you. If we
fair.
met in person, I'm sorry I don't remember you.
So how
I get all these thirsty randos sending me direct
you
messages.
have fans. You're a beloved figure.
Yeah, that's the thing. Let me go ahead and comment on that. The reason he hasn't added you is because you should see his list of things to do this week.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how long is too long when you're trying to resuscitate a tortoise you love? How long is mouth to mouth too long before it's just like you're making out with a tortoise?
30 to 40 minutes. A turtle, 16 to 17 minutes.
So there's a scale to this.
No,
There's
no,
a total.
I don't think there is such thing as too long when you're.
When you love a
when
45-year-old.
When you love a.
When you got a lady like Frida around, you don't just let her slip through
I
your
love
fingers.
turtles, but not that much.
I don't think Frida's a very good tortoise name. Can I say that? I'm not.
Frida? I like it like that Mexican painter.
Frida
Kahlo?
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah. That unibrow?
Yeah.
Love unibrows.
And I only know about her through Denton because like every girl in Denton
I know
has
about
like
her
a book
because
of her
of,
in her house.
Salma
every
Hayek.
girl in
Picture.
Denton has a Salma Hayek unibrow.
He pushed on with bringing Frida back to life, performed treatment for another hour. So I think this guy did this about 2 hours.
2 hours of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation with the tortoise.
Yeah, and apparently it's fine. He said it doesn't. She's moving around. She's eating. Doesn't seem to have brain damage. He's fenced her in now.
Does he have brain damage?
2 hours. See, that's too long. I mean, you have to love the tortoise. I think I would have given up.
Well, look, man. I've been in a lot of like bad relationships with turtles and tortoises.
Have you really owned any turtles or tortoises before?
No, but I've dated some. That's what I'm saying,
okay.
man.
And they're not.
How do you date them? Do you just count the rings around their outer shell?
Oh my God! Stop.
Nah, dude.
Bad jokes are being made today.
I take them down to the sewers.
A good subtle joke.
Was that a good subtle joke?
Take them to my favorite pizzeria.
It was subtle.
Very subtle. How do you date a tree? You count the rings.
Have you ever eaten tortoise? Have you ever eaten turtle?
No.
Isn't that a thing?
No.
Don't people do that? Isn't that turtle soup?
I've had an idea of making like a really good turtle soup and eating it out of a turtle shell. Out of a turtle shell.
Anyway, Jake, if we can pull the video of this, and for iTunes, iHeartRadio listeners, we're gonna have to describe this. We have this bodybuilder who is shopping in the bread aisle, and he catches himself on camera, and it is super great. And oh man, and this one there's no noise, so we can kind of describe what's going on to the people who can't see. I don't even know if this is weird news. This is just funny. I guess they pulled this from security footage. If we can maximize it. Jake.
Oh, I would hate to see the things I've done.
Look at this guy. So he catches himself.
I love this
Pulls
guy.
down the sunglasses, checking himself out. What is he holding? Flour? Starts flexing. Okay, he's got this like tank top on. Starts flexing other arm. Okay, looking around, puts the flower back. And what happens? Okay, another flex.
Yeah,
all right. Both are looking around.
I
And then takes off the shirt in the bread aisle. His muscles have muscles.
Hey, those are big muscles.
Like his bicep has a six-pack.
I mean, why not? Dude,
look at this, though, dude. He is
let's-
going at it. And he has no shame, but then he still looks around. And then
Let's
look, people,
talk about
look, people start
bodybuilding.
coming, though, and then he just starts, puts on, he doesn't even put on the shirt. He just runs out of the aisle. Doesn't even grab the flower.
No, I'm not going to stop that guy.
Guys, let's talk about bodybuilding because to achieve a body that looks like
it's
that,
amazing.
it is incredible.
Have you
but
seen
it's
that?
also you are damaging yourself.
Oh, so much
because of steroids.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Have you
what's
seen-
the point of that? Like,
have you seen Pumping Iron?
No,
The
but
Schwarzenegger documentary.
my boy
about-
Rich Piana is in the hospital right now in a
I see
medically
that.
induced coma.
Yeah.
Because of either, I believe, steroids. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm praying for him. Shout out to Rich Piana. 5% nutrition. Only 5% of people have what it takes.
how many, do you know his body fat percentage?
I don't know his body. I know he weighs
Here's the
311
thing.
pounds.
One day, I watched a video of this
not worth it.
couple's workout, and they were like doing all this like stuff, and they were both super like buff and fit, and I was like, why? Like you're already buff and fit. Why are you still doing that?
They're trying to achieve this like look that's just not really totally natural. I mean, I guess it's natural in the sense that
Well,
you
it's
could,
to them, it's like it's godlike, right?
Yeah,
it's
but it's
godly.
also.
I want to.
I mean, you're putting so much strain on yourself. Really, like a
Dude.
good look, like a good healthy body is like pretty lean. And is the show over?
Shows
Well,
up.
well, not yet. This is kind of
Oh.
our cue, though, to eventually wrap. Keep talking.
Oh, well, I was just sorry. The music is so sexy. No, I think like a good healthy body, which I've achieved completely.
You're chiseled.
Entirely. You're
I think a
killing
good,
it.
yeah. It's just more lean than anything. It's not like that big, bulky, muscly look. But that big, bulky, like that big, like The Rock and like all these.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
but
don't
they're,
know.
they're
It's
dude,
not very
watch
practical,
the
though.
documentary Pumping Iron. It's the old 70s about Schwarzenegger when he was competing in bodybuilding. Then there's another documentary to look up about steroid or performance enhancing drugs in general, which is super interesting. The only last weird news story, which everyone else will have to look up, the Backstreet Boys song "The Call" on their 2000 album. Howie, one of the, I guess, the Backstreet Boy members.
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, when he was doing the dun dun dun, he farted in the booth, and they kept it and just kind of made it sound like they like lowered it and bassed it out. And yeah, so if you listen to The Call during one of Howie's verses, you can hear him do something that is a
Sounds
perfectly
good.
normally bodily function. Okay, Dalton, any plugs? What do you got going on?
Plugs, man. I'll be at 10 Bells tomorrow
Oh yeah,
for a
show
show
in
that
Dallas, right?
show-
Is it 10
it's
bells
in
or 2 bells?
10 Bells.
10 bells.
My friend Alex Axon's putting the show
Okay,
on. It's
cool.
a variety show.
Are you
called-
improv or stand
No,
up?
I'm doing a sketch.
So, oh.
It's a variety show she's putting on about romance. It's called Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
Are you doing a sketch? Are you committing to the character?
I have to, yes.
What about
uh,
you, Dalton? Or not Dalton? Richie.
I'm gonna be trying to get insurance this week, so holler at me. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
gotta
I
get a
have.
car
I,
fixed.
I know I have Saturday. There's the Denton Camping Festival with 7 Feathers. It's
the Hot Damn Jam
Hot
Fest.
Damn Jam Fest. So
Which I
text
didn't
me
get
that. I'm gonna
booked
be
for.
doing the cipher. Yeah. Did they hit you up?
No, they never booked me.
Let's make
Are you doing
happen.
that?
What is it?
Hot Damn Jam Fest?
When I missed everything.
All right,
you
never
just
mind.
said.
Yeah, we didn't get booked.
Hot Damn
Sorry.
Jam Fest.
And also one more thing, I do not, unless we record early, we will not be here next Wednesday. I'm going to be doing shows out in Colorado area, if you're in Durango, Cortez area, which you probably aren't.
Nope.
And yeah, so episode 15, Dalton, welcome back, man.
It's good to be back,
It was
fellas.
tight, boy. I know
You were
Alex
tighter this
Gaskin-
time. I don't know if it was the improv or what.
It's
but
that
you were
improv, those improv chops, baby.
We're
Bro,
back, dude.
Yeah.
Tight. There we
Back
go.
better than ever.
Nobody Knows every Wednesday, 5:30 live. Check us out, iHeartRadio, iTunes Store, and all that. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night. I love you.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.